My name is Bert Whitehead, the third, and my father was Bert W, and was one of the original members of the first AA meeting in Bisbee. When he gave his open talk, he would open it with, "I'll lay odds I'm the only man here who's been married 3 times to the same woman." And he and my mother had a very stormy relationship in their early marriage because he was drinking. Back then, when the alcoholic really hit the skid row, they became a hobo. And my dad reached that level where he became a hobo and was riding the rails and ended up falling off a train, breaking his pelvis. My mother rescued him and brought him home to nurse him back to health. One day, somebody knocked at the door, and there was this construction worker standing there, and he said that he needed to talk to Bert Whitehead. It was very confidential. And my mother said, "Well, he's indisposed. He can't see you." And he said, "No, this is very important. I must see him." And my mother said, "Well, he's in a full body cast in bed." And he says, "I can talk to him there." So she let him in. He introduced himself, says, "My name's Joe, and I'm an alcoholic. And I found these fellows in Tucson in Alcoholics Anonymous. And by working with them, I've been able to stay sober for 90 days. But I got sent to a job here in Bisbee, so I can't get to a meeting." And I asked my sponsor, and he says, "Well, you got to find another alcoholic to talk to." And he says, "Well, I don't know anybody in Bisbee." So I said, "Well, just go to the police station and ask them who the biggest drunk in town is." He said, "I did that, and they told me that Bert Whitehead is the biggest drunk in town, so I need to talk to you. I need your help." My dad said it was the first time anybody asked him for help. And they continued meeting, and that became the first AA meetings in Bisbee. It's especially an honor to be able to bring this collection to Bisbee to celebrate 80 years of continuous AA meetings in Bisbee, Arizona, started by my dad. These are the other books that you'll see in the collection here that my mother and father used. So one of the books is 12 Steps and 12 Traditions, which was written by Bill W. And this was the first edition, and it was given to delegates to the 1955 International Conference in St. Louis, which is when AA really came of age. It's one of the few copies that were made because it was a limited printing just for the delegates to that conference. Since my mother was in Al-Anon early on, there are also the books that were used in Al-Anon in those days. Also, one of the first printing copies of 24 Hours a Day, a daily meditation book that was widely used in the early AA days. Coming back to Bisbee is such a reminder of the efforts that he put forth that have been followed through for all of these years. And I've been fortunate to be able to benefit myself personally, both from my dad's experience, but also returning to Bisbee and becoming part of the AA community here.